How do you get through something like this?
Wake up today and breathe and come to work and go back to work and go play Dallas.
Welcome to Parker and Parker, everybody. I am Alex Parker.
I'm Julie. That was yesterday.
That was Hunter Smith yesterday. Hunter Smith will not get to play Dallas. Hunter Smith was released this afternoon. Everybody has seen it by now. If we've got the video, Hunter Smith, who has been a heck of a punter and holder in this league for a dozen years, on a very wet day with a ball that was a little high, but he admits should have caught it. If he catches that, puts it down, maybe they make the extra point. Maybe the Redskins win in overtime. We'll never know. Bottom line is Hunter Smith was cut today, Julie Parker.
Hunter joins us live on the phone now. Thanks for being with us, Hunter. How does that news come into you, and how are you dealing with it?
Well, I think after you play in the NFL for long enough, you realize that, it is a very political institution, and I don't write it off to politics, but there is a certain sense of, someone does have to pay the price for certain things. And in this case, I have to agree partially with the decision because we would win, we would tie, and possibly win that game if I catch the ball, and I didn't. And this is a reality we find ourselves in.
Hunter Smith, before we ask you the nuts and bolts of how you found out, et cetera, I want to play for our viewers and listeners. I interviewed you at your locker yesterday. This was, 16 hours after that horrific ending for you and the Redskins nation. And the dignity and the sort of honesty that you showed is rare in pro locker rooms. Bear with us. You're going to hear yourself for 59 seconds. Let's roll Hunter yesterday.
In the NFL, everybody talks about after a game when something like this happens, catastrophic on the last play or something, everybody says, what about the drop pass earlier in the game? What about the missed holding call? What about the bad pass? What about the missed field goals? What about? But at the end, when you have an opportunity to tie it up, the whole game comes down to that. We did all we could to be in the game to tie it up and didn't. And it's my fault. I have a beautiful wife. I have 3 wonderful children, and I have a faithful God. And that is reality to me. It's not ideology, and it's not fairy tale. So it's not that this just doesn't mean anything and that whole thing to me, because it is a letdown in an organization. But I can move forward and go play Dallas because my reality is maybe a little bit different.
Hunter Smith, I told you this at your locker afterwards. You don't need to hear this from me, for God's sake. What do I know? That was about the best 3-minute interview I've ever heard of a player that committed a gaffe that probably may have cost a team a game. Was that at all therapeutic for you to get that off your chest, or that's just who you are?
Well, I think that it's therapeutic in the sense of you told the truth. And we all know that when you do tell the truth, it's even if the truth is hard or hurts, it's better to tell the truth. So I didn't do it for personal reasons at all. It's a moral responsibility. I don't want to make this too serious. We are talking about football here, but it is a moral duty on some level to tell the truth and to take responsibility. And I won't go off too much on my on my values and things like that, but I believe that I'm a part of a generation. Really, the lawsuit generation. Everything is somebody else's fault. People that are my age and a little younger and a little older want to blame somebody else, and they tend to want to self-protect. And I really reject that as a pattern of behavior and as a pattern of morality. It's not how I'm going to live my life. When I make a mistake, I'm going to own up to it. And really, that's kind of what all this comes down to.
Hunter, you said you agree partially with this decision. To me, this seems like you have become a scapegoat. Do you not see it that way?
Well, it's kind of like last year when, Sean Sweezum was 18 for 21 and we cut him. Am I a scapegoat? I believe that in the NFL, somebody has, there are a couple of different types of teams out there, and there are some teams that display undying loyalty to their coaches and players. There are other teams that tend to want to make a little more of a statement in times of quote unquote tragedy or something like this going on, by making an example out of somebody, by partially putting the blame on them for the loss. And I'm not saying that the Redskins are completely that kind of a team, but in this sense, I think that I think that it does come down to that. I think that if regardless of how I've been punting this year, regardless of some of the difficult positions I've found myself in as a punter, I think that as a holder, if I catch that ball, get it down, and we make the extra point, and we win the game in overtime, I think that we're all giving each other high fives, congratulating each other, and I'm going to work tomorrow morning.
Hunter Smith, I will leave you with this. When I told my mom about 20 minutes ago, she's a huge Redskins fan, that you were calling in, and I said, he got cut today. She said, what? I said, yeah, he got cut today. She said, 3 games to go and right before Christmas? That's what she said right before Christmas. Hey, you have a beautiful wife and 3 beautiful kids, and you have something called perspective with a big old P. And we like P's on Parker and Parker.
We do.
Hunter Smith, thank you so much. Happy holidays. Best of luck. You'll end up on your feet for sure. You already are.
Thank you very much. Happy holidays to you guys, too.
Take care, Hunter.
Oh, that's rough.
That's rough.
I didn't even
It's
think
rough.
about the holidays.
And you could just read between the lines there. We didn't have to ask him, do you think the Redskins are one of those type of teams that would... No, listen to him. And that's what he said.